Radio 3, the first programme in a new series, Medium and Message, examines the media's coverage of this year's general election campaign. It can be heard at 7:10 tomorrow evening on Radio 3. Tomorrow night on BBC One looks like this. At 7:05, Russell Harty's guests include Debbie Harry. Then at 7:40, it's Don't Wait Up, domestic comedy with Tony Britton and Nigel Havers. And at 8:10, somewhat more dramatic family problems in Dallas. After the 9 o'clock news at 9:25, One of Ourselves is William Trevor's film set in Ireland about a 15-year-old boy on the brink of manhood suffering all the usual conflicting influences, including his mother, the townsfolk, and his elderly and rather odd friend Quigley, who's played by Cyril Cusack. Until 20 years ago, one of the hazards of achieving manhood was national service, and at 10:15 there's a sometimes affectionate, sometimes less than affectionate look back at those times from some of the men who were called up, including some very well-known faces. At 11:10, Jim Rockford opens the files on a case involving a female private eye, whose good looks are only exceeded by her incredible cunning, and that merry dance for Jim Rockford completes tomorrow, Tuesday night, on BBC One. Now, with the late-night weather forecast, here's Ian McGaskill.
Hello. Well, this high will be king for a day or two yet, bringing settled weather to most of us. There is opposition, though. This feature up here, this will bring some very unsettled weather tomorrow to the northern half of Scotland. And at the same time, this low has pretensions too. It wants to push this band of cloud and rain up into the southwestern half of Britain. But that, I think, is more Wednesday onwards. In the meantime, this high will hold sway, and you can see it on this evening's satellite picture. There we are, now at 8. At about 7 p.m. this evening, as you can see, clear skies over pretty well all of England and Wales. Some showers out over the North Sea there, but just fringing the coast, and they're dying out too. Quite a lot of cloud at that time over Scotland and Northern Ireland. If we look a little bit ahead now to noon tomorrow, you can see that the high is still there, but these fronts are coming down, as you can see, into the northern part of Scotland. But back to tonight, well, a fine frosty night for most of us, even colder than last night. In fact, -5 degrees centigrade, that's 23 Fahrenheit. So very keen frost, very little fog, perhaps some mist in places around dawn. In the meantime, well, still some showers of sleet and snow over these northeastern coasts. These will die away for a time, but further snow or sleet getting into the Shetlands, I think, before the morning. Elsewhere, a generally fine night. And then tomorrow, most of us, a dry day, a good deal of sunshine, I think, in most places. Temperatures slowly creeping up to 5 centigrade, that's 41 Fahrenheit, but it will be frosty at first and again in the evening. Not completely dry. Over the northern half of Scotland, rain, sleet or snow at times, most of the snow in the hills, whilst at the other end of the country, over the southwest there, becoming cloudy and perhaps 1 or 2 showers there too. That's all from me. A very good night to you.
Now the time is 11.5 past midnight, and we've come to the end of tonight's viewing on BBC One. Before we go, can I offer you the usual reminder that there's plenty happening on Radio 2 throughout the night, and of course we'll be back on the air in the morning with breakfast time beginning at 6:30. Thank you for joining us tonight, and now on behalf of everybody here in the television centre, this is Malcolm Einan wishing you a good and peaceful night. Good night.